Hi, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Morning, hello.
My name is Amanda Rivera. I'm the hearing examiner presiding over today's case. The date is July 3rd, 2025, and this is case SEZ2025-00005. It is a special exception request to the Cypress Lake Presbyterian Food Pantry. Because this is a quasi-judicial hearing, all evidence and testimony must be taken under oath. So if you intend to speak, if you could please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will provide is the truth?
I do.
If you'll be speaking, yes. Thank you. We do not have members of the public here today, so,
I have a question.
1 second.
Okay.
So I will dispense with those instructions. Do we have an affidavit of publication in this
Yes.
case for staff to enter? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the staff report was pre-labeled, Staff Exhibit 1, and then Staff Exhibit 2 will be the affidavit of publication. Yes, sir, what was your question?
The actual name of the food pantry is the South Fort Myers Food Pantry, located at the Cypress Lake Presbyterian Church, if that makes a difference.
Okay, that was the styling of the case, but we can change the case
The
name if it needs to
application
be.
said that, and
Okay, I just,
my mistake.
no, all right.
Thank you. So we're ready to begin whenever the applicant is ready. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Hearing Examiner. For the record, my name is Mike Rader here on behalf of the South Fort Myers Food Pantry. I'm having a feeling of deja vu. Sharam and I were here 14 years ago doing the same request, and I guess, even though I think this is probably the simplest case you're ever going to find, I should ask to be recognized as an expert witness so I can justify charging these guys.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, the staff report is very good. It goes through the details of this. All it is adding a refrigerated shipping container next to the existing building where they have the food pantry, and Sharam has a good overhead of the site plan.
You want me to go?
Yeah, why don't we have that up there so we can, yeah. And the only comment about the staff report I would make in number 4 on page 3, it says that this is a proposed expansion of the food pantry, and I guess it hardly qualifies as that because where that shipping container go, they now park trucks there when they come in, and they have come in and out. This will be a permanent. And the Cliff Staples and Ed Desmond are here. Cliff is chairman of the board, and Ed is on the board, and they're here to answer any questions about the operation, and they might want to get up and explain a little bit of how it works, because it's a very impressive operation on Mondays, in the morning, in the afternoon. But I got a phone call Monday morning from Chris Virgo, who is the chairman of the Green Gate Condominium Association, and they're actually right down here, and they actually share that lighted intersection. And he said he was getting calls from their members because of the notice that went out, and said people were worried about traffic and noise. And I said, well, it's really not going to change what's been happening for the last 16 years, although it's gotten busier, but the only noise would be from that container, and that's, here's where Green Gate is, and next to the container is the Greek Orthodox parking lot. There's really nothing there at all but the parking lot. And as far as traffic is concerned, if you go out and see it on Mondays, it's amazing because they have,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, they have all this place to,
this is the
oh,
church.
here we are. The traffic, they can handle like 30 or 40 cars at a time. So there's no backup on the Cypress Lake Drive from there. And there is a stoplight at the entrance, so it's very well managed for the traffic. You know, I was disappointed they actually have to make them do another special exception. I was hoping they could just tweak the site plan, but here we are. And there's one condition on here that, number 2, we have to demonstrate compliance with the existing approved landscaping plan. I've talked to Greg DeSario, and he's been out there, and he said they're going to probably have to add some shrubs a little bit that over the years have disappeared. But he's on top of that, so I don't see that we have any real issues at all. And like I said, this is I'd like Cliff to probably say a few words, Biff, about how they actually operate, because it's very impressive operation as long as he's here. And I do have this little fact sheet.
Oh, thank you. That will be applicant exhibit 1. My only question, I did the site visit, and it is very well organized. You can tell there's been a lot of thought put into the circulation flow of that. There was a semi-truck trailer parked. Is that the same location that the cooler will be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It'll be in front of that.
okay, thank you. But yes, if there's any other comments you wanted to put into the record as part of your testimony?
I don't know. Biff, do you want to say?
Yeah, I've got a few comments.
Yeah, say a few words, because it's really,
Good morning.
Morning, my name is Biff Staples. I'm the president of the South Fort Myers Food Pantry. We opened in 2008, so we've been there a long time. It's been an evolution from a very small pantry feeding people out of coolers, literally in the hot sun, to building a building. And we went from probably 5,000 a year to 50,000. Now, there's a lot of reasons why we've grown over that time. But COVID probably had the biggest change, because it used to be a pantry where we walk people through like a grocery store. We couldn't be that close proximity, so now we established this drive-through pattern. And we've been that way for about 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Yeah, and it's just so efficient now. We have an existing cooler and freezer, but they're 15 years old, and it's starting to cost us a lot of money. So this was an ideal, I give back, it was gifted to us by a church in Fort Myers Beach that was destroyed by Ian, and they wanted it to be a lasting gift, something that they could, rather than just money towards food. So it's going to have a plaque that says this is donated by this church. So it's a backup to what we have, and then food insecurity is the irony behind food pantries. Our people that come want food, but the food that we get is very unpredictable. As we speak, our freezer and cooler are empty. We gave everything away on Monday. Now, what we get, our next shipment is what we'll give on fresh vegetables and meat to our clients. So the traffic is not going to increase because we're having another cooler. The statistics are we feed about 1,000 people a week, individuals. That equates about 200, 250 cars divided by 2 shifts, which is between 6 or 7 hours, so it's less than 37 cars an hour. Now, granted, in the beginning of our shifts, which started in the morning at 10, 9:30, there's more cars, but then it filters out. At night, there's less buildup, but it's spread out and very efficient, and never goes out past our parking lot, and certainly not into the road that goes into the apartment complex. It's as we said, very efficient. We think our numbers have stabilized. There's a lot of reason: hurricanes, the economy, COVID, the immigration laws. So our numbers are not going to go down, but we don't think they're going to go up much. So, I talked about the gifted cooler. And this new cooler, we can actually drive in with a lift truck. It's a heck of a lot easier than the way we do it now, lifting these boxes into the coolers we have, because there's only a door. So this one will have open doors that we can literally drive into. It's going to be hidden from the Greeks. They don't care. We know them. They're part of our coalition anyway. There'll be no noise. It'll be tagged onto the generator we have. Because it's literally down from where the generator is in the electrical box. Ed?
As you can see from that aerial view, the actual aerial view, this is going to be situated facing the empty parking lot in the back of the Greek church, and it will not impact anybody. And the only time that back parking lot is used is when they have the Greek Fest. So there's really no issue with noise, because that parking lot in the Greek Fest, it's pretty expansive, and there's no one else back there to the north of that parking lot. Plus, if someone hadn't explained, there's a line of tall, I call them fishtail palms, that are in front of where that trailer is going to be, where we used to park our truck. So there's another barrier that they're not going to see that trailer. And there's no issue with noise with the apartment complex, which is on the east side.
West side.
Or, I'm sorry, west side. So,
Has there ever been, since 2008, has there ever been any complaints associated with that from the condo association?
Years ago, I will fess up to this, before we had the drive-through, they were parking everywhere. They're in their parking lot, they were across the street, and it was a mess. It was a traffic jam. We evolved out of that, but that was 10 years ago.
Many.
So they had legitimate complaints, but had nothing to do with a cooler added. It was just the way we managed our traffic flow.
So just when I did the site visit, again, there was a row of shopping carts. So are people exiting the vehicles and going inside, or are they?
No, they
I know you said it changed, but
they
then,
pull around right here, right?
there's the tent that covers it, correct? Right
Yeah,
next.
Right.
So they
They're-
get loaded right here from carts that are
They're pre-filled. Okay.
pre-filled, put them in their trunk, their back seat.
Biff,
Yeah.
we actually, where the tent is
So the
right in that area, is right in that area. So all the cars go around those islands, if you will,
This way here.
and then they pull through there. And then it's an easy exit. There's like,
Homes are all established, so they won't take cuts, they won't go into the tent directly, because we have a lot of people. So the inward and outward are.
You actually have people that are directing traffic.
yeah,
You're
We
directing
usually have
traffic.
right.
30 to 40 volunteers per shift, organizing all that gets done. So our clients never get out of their car. We load them, we talk to them, but that's our interaction.
Ever since COVID, this has been the best way to do this. You're in, you're out, you're not disturbing anybody, and you're on your way. So, and also too, just to make sure that you understood, the morning shift goes from anywhere from 8:30 until 12:30. Then we're closed, and then the night shift comes at
2
2
to 7.
2 to 7,
And that's only on Mondays, correct?
just Mondays.
So when they come in the morning, you wouldn't know there's a food pantry there. The only reason you know is the line of shopping carts. Would they take everything out, set up everything?
Right.
At the end of the day, we put everything away, you wouldn't know that we're there. So there's no complaints from a visual standpoint that the food pantry is operating. You know, I do a lot of public speaking about this, but there is such a need for food. And this gives us an opportunity to get to sources. In fact, we were just talking that we don't have space. When it's available, it's a iffy thing, but we could really use this. And it was gifted to us by a church. So, best of all worlds. Any questions?
Not at this time, no.
Good.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
let
you.
the staff present
Thank you for
their
your time.
presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Hearing examiner Sharon Badamchian from the county zoning. My resume is on file. I was recognized as expert in the past in zoning and land use issues. I would like to be recognized as such at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is an existing special exception, which was approved in 2004, 2011, sorry, 2011-00004. And all they are doing is adding a walk-in cooler. Our code doesn't have any amendment mechanism for special exceptions, so if anything changes, we have to do another special exception. And that's the location, the address, 8669 Cypress Lake Drive. And you saw the location, you know the location is on Cypress Lake Drive. It is zoned RM2 and surrounded by CFPD, which is a church, and this condominium there. And they were talking about the noise. I measured the cooler. The closest unit would be in here, and the cooler would be at least 300 feet away, at least 300 feet. Staff reviewed this for compliance with the Land Development Code and LEAP plan, specifically policy 1.1.3, 2.1.3, and 5.1.5. And they are in full compliance with the requirements of the LEAP plan and the Land Development Code. And the staff's recommendation is for approval with the two conditions. One of them, just the generic conditions that what you see is what you get. It must be in compliance with the site plan. The other one is whatever landscaping was damaged or destroyed over the years must be restored to 1994 requirements. Land Development Order approved in 1994.
On that condition, it says the expansion of the building footprint to add the cooler, but they're not, it's gonna be separate from the building.
It is separate, but it is gonna be, it is kind of considered as an additional structure they're adding. So we just want to make sure that they are not reducing the landscaping or open space, things, which they will not. It's just a condition to make sure that everything stays the same, landscaping-wise and open space-wise. With that said, staff recommends approval. Me too, I received a phone call from someone asking about how noisy that's going to be. But those units, the condo units, they have air conditioning units right in front of their windows. And this is 300 feet away. I don't think they're gonna hear anything from this cooler.
And it was just the single call that you received from the,
That was a single call I received. And that
another
concludes.
question, because there are really no conditions on it. What, they mentioned that it's limited to Monday, but it's not conditioned to that.
It's
Was there
not
any-
conditioned, it was never conditioned, so
So there's no concern that adding, I think it said this would add 400, the ability to serve 400 more patrons, but they've said that the demand is controlled by the
I
inventory,
mean,
so.
it's controlled by demand. It's not, I mean, we are not limiting the number of people coming there or the hours or days. I don't think they can do it every day. It's just that volunteer, on a volunteer basis, they have to have people to do the job. So if you want to add a condition, staff has no problem with that, but I don't believe it's necessary.
Necessary. then there's no need. I just wanted to ask the question if that had been considered. Yes.
Yeah, we're 100% volunteers. Nobody's paid. So we don't want to work more than Monday. We do other than stocking and side work, but we couldn't do more than one day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's no need for any rebuttal since we don't have public here today, so we can conclude the hearing. The decision's final with me, so I will get this out as very quickly as I can so that you can get on your way. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
everything that you've done. It was very thorough, so I've got what I need. Thank you.
That is
Thank you for
So
coming.
what, can I report back to the board that it looks like it's been approved?
You'll receive that, I think, momentarily.
Thank you, ma'am.
You won't have to wait
That's
too long.
great.
Thank you.
You have to write it up.
But that's great.